Hey everyone, it's Sharon, and I'm at the hospital right now. And it's such a blessing having you guys in my life because I just feel such a kinship, such a connection. And so here I am, having gone through a real rough time, but we made it through. And so I just thought, you know what, I want to make a video. It's been a long time. This year has been a heck of a year. My dad died, my dog died. But we did a lot of good stuff too, a lot of amazing stuff, It has all been good, it really has. My dad had Alzheimer's for 6 years, and, he'd suffered a lot. And then our dog, we didn't even expect that. Actually, on August 20th was when that happened. And we just took him to the vets because he had something else, just real minor, and they said he was bleeding to death, and we had to put him down. So that was really rough. And then I was like, I don't know how to ever deal with anybody else dying that I love because it was such a really rough. And so anyway, what's interesting is that was the day that my husband started to have blood in his urine. And we thought it was from an experience he had where we had joined the gym. We're 52. It's like, okay, we got to start doing stuff like that. And we got a complimentary training, or he did, and he went in and he started bleeding like 2 days later on August 20th. So that was, very, that's why I remember the date, because Smokey had died. And so anyway, it continued, and then it got better and continued, got better on 2 different doses of antibiotics because the doctor couldn't figure out what was going on. And then he had gone through tremendous pain. Oh my gosh, excruciating. Still so raw, We thought he had a kidney stone. And then that didn't pass. And the next day, because he liked drinking 2 gallons of water, and we went to his regular doctor who had been treating him for his quote-unquote urinary infection, which wasn't. But that he then sent us right over to a urologist. We went. The urologist did his stuff where he drained his bladder, and then did a minor thing in the office where he went up and took a scope and looked and couldn't figure out there was tons of blood clots, tons, and he goes, I don't know where all the blood clots came from. So then what did he do? He did a CAT scan and a ultrasound, all these different things. I don't know in what order, but it was quite, a lot. And then he sent us over to the hospital, and Mike had a CAT scan, and then they told us he had a tumor, and it looked like the kind that was cancerous, and they thought that the tumor was in his left kidney and also in the IVC, intravena cava or something like that. So I put a little picture on TrichWorld just so you could kind of see, and it's kind of like the scribbly pen mark. It's not really well to see, but it's the artery that is parallel to the aorta, and it's probably as thick. This was big stuff. Sorry, but this is what's real, okay? So that doctor said he'd only seen 2 in 10 years. He was kind of a young doctor, and he had the wherewithal and humility to say, you need to go to a specialist in Charleston, which is 2.5 hours away. So long story short, we went, and he did an MRI, and then just this last Monday, it's Saturday today, it's the 3rd of November, just this last Monday, because we had to go back and read the MRI, he said they could see it now. They knew what it was. And that's when they scribbled on that paper to show us what it is. And he goes, if we cut the aorta, or if we cut the artery that is the vena cava, he could bleed to death in 2 minutes. We can cut the liver. He ends up being one of the best surgeons that ends up in the world, I think. He was or top 6, I should say, in the nation, but then he teaches all over the world. Okay, so anyway, so he is telling us pretty bluntly how serious this is. And he says, we're going to make the appointment for November 20th. And so we came in, no, that was the same day. All day long we were at the hospital. And so when he was saying that, I said, is there any way that we could be seen sooner? Like, in other words, are there any cancellations, And I'm thinking, yeah, right, somebody cancels when they have a surgery, And he took his chin in his hand, and he goes, you know what? I'm leaving for Ireland Friday. Maybe I can do this Thursday. I've got to make sure that we can get we needed a major specialist. We needed a transplant surgeon, as well as this other surgeon to open him up, but the transplant surgeon to do the surgery with him, because he was going to remove the kidney, and the transplant surgeon was going to deal with the vena cava. So anyway, so a little while, we're there all day doing other stuff, kind of preparing with hopes, we're in pre-op preparation. And we basically had been told it wasn't going to happen, and then we get a call later in the day, and it goes, good news, bad news, you get to come on Thursday. Bad news is you got to go back to pre-op, and we're like, oh, great, we're here already, this is great, so anyway. So then we go home, and we're dealing with the emotions of knowing that this might be the last time we see each other. Mike and I just celebrated our 22nd anniversary. Just became empty nesters. And we just love each other so much. We are best friends, and we work 24/7 together, doing our small business. And to look at him and go, this could be it, So anyway, that was rough, but we were thankful. It was going to be soon. And we had everybody we knew praying, and we were praying, and we just wanted God's will in our life, and we trust God. We have seen him. I've known him since I was 17, and I've seen God do amazing things, and I just trust him. And in fact, our prayer had been that we would be used by him, that other people could come to know him. So anyway, that was our prayer. And I'm not saying it caused this, but I just know that when things happen in this world, and that God uses them for good, and that God cares and loves about us, and that there's so much we always learn through all our difficulty, like, for example, trichotillomania, that I just trust. So anyway, but I still was looking, going, I just love my husband, and it just was, the kids and the grandkids and all that, just, you can imagine. Okay, so anyway, so we come in Thursday. We spent the night in Charleston Wednesday, came in Thursday morning, and it's supposed to be a 4.5-hour surgery. So we're here like at 5:30 in the morning. Anyway, 4.5 hours later, we get a call, and it says the first surgeon finally just got through to be able to, now there's other surgeons to come in and do their thing. 4.5 hours. I was like, oh, not a good sign. Yes, he's lost some blood, but he's stable. Okay, he's got 2 more hours, she said. 2 hours goes by, and calls us and says, he's lost more blood, he's stable, but they're having problems with the vena cava. And it's going to be about 2 to 4 more hours. And I thought, that's not good at all. So I went into the bathroom, got on that grimy floor on my knees and just cried, and I prayed. And I came out, and I saw my kids, and I just broke down, and I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be strong for them. But they were really great, and we were just all just so connected. And within a half an hour, the doctor comes out. The 2 doctors come out, and I go, I'm thinking, what are you doing here 2 to 4 hours? This means he's dead. And I said, well, how's Mike? What, And they go, oh, he's fine. He lost about a bucket of blood. It ends up being 5 units, but he's fine. So then, okay, I'm trying to shorten this because I know I don't have tons of time on this YouTube thing, but I see him 2 hours later. I run into the doctor, and he goes, oh, you haven't seen Mike yet? He's in there talking, laughing, doing what Mike does. And he goes, Sharon, I just want to tell you, if we had not done the surgery today, he would have been dead within a week. He goes, when we went in, we didn't recognize that tumor, that the branches and all that, all that had wrapped around the vena cava. He goes, it grew so aggressively in 6 days that they did not recognize it as the same picture that they took 6 days before. Okay, let me just say, so Mike, by getting in on Thursday, his life was saved. By us even seeing the blood in his urine on August 20th, his life was saved. If he hadn't had that happen, he would be falling down dead this month, and we would not even have known it was coming. I just want to share how amazed I am at how God intervened and took care of us. This surgeon was, like I think I already said, he was one of the best top six in the nation. This, there was going to be a vascular surgeon that was going to attend. Instead, they decided on this transplant surgeon, the hand of God. So we are just so thankful. He is doing great. He's walking around. He's got an incision from the right, it was on his left, so the left side of his body to the middle of his, right under his breastbone. I'm telling you, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that what scar that will be. This has been a huge change for us, huge deepening, a profound experience that we will be thankful for forever. So anyway, I just hope that this hasn't been too graphic. I just am kind of that way where I just want to share what's real. And I just hope that you will understand that why I'm doing that, and just that it will be a good thing, not something that brings pain to you guys, okay? I love you, and I'll be, sign up on my Facebook if you want. I'd love that, because that's where I'm actually journaling and keeping things more current. But I did put a bunch of stuff up till now on the TrichWorld, so you'll see some stuff there too. But anyway, I love you guys, and I hope that this will upload. Bye-bye.